I started from zero, just like any one of you out there. I never had any repetition on Upwork, but I went through. I made over $100,000 in less than 12 months, and I'm still having some strong clients. Welcome to the African Notes podcast. In this episode, exclusively, I am going to tell you about myself, about how I quit a 9-to-5 job and became a freelancer. And exclusively, we're going to talk about 3 important things. Number 1, how I began my freelancing career. Number 2, how I optimized my efforts to gain the success that I have. And number 3, I want to share with you the lessons that I've learned so far as a freelancer. Just a brief introduction about myself, okay? My name is Jessica Mara. I am from Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is a very small country in West Africa, and it has beautiful beaches and islands. Everyone knows about them. I am a top rated plus freelancer on Upwork. I have made over $100,000 in less than 12 months on Upwork. I am part of the top 2% freelancers on Upwork globally. My story is basically to inspire young people, encourage more Africans to come into the freelancing space. I want you to learn, but I want you to pay close attention to things that I'll be saying, and I also want you to hear my story from an African perspective. This is not someone from Europe or any other country talking to you. This is someone who is within your continent, a person like you, whom you can relate with. I want you to listen to this story, and if you like it, it is okay for you to smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, because I'll be dropping episodes like this, and I'll be talking about interesting things, how you can really optimize your own freelancing career. All right, so let's start with the beginning. How did I start my journey? To be honest, I did not start as a freelancer. I spent almost 6 months looking around, doing things that did not even relate to freelancing. I did digital marketing. I followed some quick wins on the internet. As you know, people normally tell you, oh, if you do this, you are going to get money. I did affiliate marketing. I did all sort of things. I did extensive research. And then I stumbled on the idea of freelancing. Then I started to explore different gig economy platforms like Fiverr, People Per Hour, and then I found Upwork. So what I did was, when I created the account on Upwork, it took me a couple of months. I actually left. I left for almost 8 months or so. I was not working on it. I have this job that I was working, a 9-to-5 job. To be honest, it's a very lucrative job in my context. If you have any job that you are paid around $3,000, man, that's a job that is very, very lucrative, in my country or so. But then it came a moment wherein I started thinking to myself, what about if I start getting paid in USD, Then I started applying again on Upwork. By then I had accumulated a lot of connects. So if you don't know what connects is, it's basically when you want to apply for a job, they will charge you number of connects. It's just numbers, right? So I had a lot of connects because every month they give you like 10 connects for free. So I had accumulated a lot. So I started applying. I was applying for product management because I'm a product management professional. I sent a lot of applications. I was not getting any interview, nothing like that. And then I wanted to give up at that point. I was thinking, this thing is not working. What's happening? Like, what can I do? I started learning about the platform, understanding all the different things that I needed to do. And I started following people that are really successful on the platform, learning from them. And then I improved my profile, because that's like the first thing a client will see. That's the only thing a client will see about you. And then I improved the way of writing my proposal. All of these things I'm talking about, I'm going to show you, step by step, how to do them. I started sending proposals again, and this time I was really tweaking my proposals, and I have improved them. Boom, I started getting those interviews, right? Like the guys were just like really coming at me. I had like 5 interviews in 1 week. So it was exciting, and I recognized that as an improvement. It showed that my proposal is good. It showed that my profile is also good. We are going to move to the next topic, which is optimizing. You have to optimize. I had this raw determination. Guys, raw determination. Let me repeat that. You have to have a raw determination to make it, especially when you are starting. I had this raw determination that I must make it on Upwork. I went to interviews and I'm not successful, so I forgot about the interviews and I move on. I kept applying. That's what I mean by raw determination. Raw and aggressive determination. You don't give up. You need to keep doing it. Your job is to keep applying until you get your match. I kept optimizing, I kept going, and I kept moving. So the first step that I did, I optimized my mindset, and this is the most powerful tool that you have. There is something about your mind. Your mind can be weaponized against you. I was thinking that, okay, when I applied for a job, I'm called for an interview. If I go for 2 or 3 interviews, I have to have that job. That's not how freelancing works. Your job is to apply. Make sure your proposals are good. You are good and you are prepared to join any interview, right? When you get there, do your best. Job is to apply. Make sure your proposals are good. Step 2, optimize your source of information. That's another step. Now there is too many crap on the internet. People will just tell you all sorts of things. You have to rely on people that have practical knowledge, all right? Practical knowledge, people that have done it. They are successful, not just doing it. I want to rely on someone who has actually worked with different clients and they have successfully completed project. They have positive feedback, right? As you can see on the screen, you see positive feedback that I've had on my journey. So that is really important. Step 3, I learned about freelancing industry. I spent time to learn about the platforms, and specifically I learned about the Upwork platform, how it works, how it operates, how can I take advantage of it. And that is where I understood that it's not about you going to the interview, or it's not about because you are invited to the interview. It is about getting your right match. The next thing is step 4, which is I learned about the ins and outs of Upwork. I think I've already mentioned it. What are these key things that you need to learn about Upwork? My profile, the badges that you get, the feedback, okay, building your reputation. How do you build your reputation on Upwork? How do you portray yourself? How do you convince people that you are an experienced professional? This is also something that I'll be talking about extensively, and this is why I want you to share this video or subscribe to it, and so that you join our community. That's what I want you to do. This is a community and we'll keep talking about these things, right? So I learned about building my reputation. How do I build my reputation? And all of these basic fundamentals. The last step, but not the least, never stop applying. That's the secret. Don't you ever stop applying. You keep applying until you get the job that you want. You keep working, and building your reputation is one of those important things. The next thing that we want to talk about is the things that I've learned so far. What I have learned so far and my success benchmarks, like the things that I've learned on this platform that I want to share with you. And I know some of these things are really, really important. I have learned to understand and appreciate small wins. This is really, really important. You don't know how important this is. First step is for you to know. You should be able to recognize them first of all. Let me give you an example. The fact that I submitted a proposal and then somebody invites me for an interview, that is a good sign. It means 2 things. Number 1, your profile is really, really good. It is good enough for the person to decide to invite you for the interview. Number 2, you are writing very good proposals. Your proposals are getting there. The rest, for you not getting the job, it depends on how you present yourself. How do you prepare for your interview? How you communicate, your body language, your environment where you are sitting. Second thing that you need to know about small wins is getting invite without application. So let's say you get an invite, because on Upwork you can actually get an invite to a job without you applying for that job. Now, let me be very clear here. I'm not talking about jobs that relate to your country. Maybe you are speaking Swahili, you are in Kenya and you are a Swahili speaker. Then they invite you to translate in Swahili. I will not count that as a job that reflects the professionalism of my profile or the professionalism of my proposal. But getting job invites means that your profile is really, really outstanding. That's what it means. Apart from jobs that has to do with your local language translation, let me put it that way, or maybe a job that only somebody from Sierra Leone like myself can do it, and then I get an invite. That doesn't count. So when you start getting those kind of invites, wherein the kind of job that you want and you are invited to those kind of jobs, then it means your profile is really, really outstanding. You should be proud of yourself. It means you are on the right road. The second thing that I've learned on this platform on my journey to over $100,000 is I learned how to spot lucrative opportunities. That is another thing. You don't need to apply for every job that you see. That's the problem. Like most people go there and just start applying. They just want to apply for every job that they see. That is not the way you do it. All right? Because I understand the desperation for you to get a job and you want to start working. But you have to learn. I learned how to spot really lucrative jobs and I go for them. I go for them heavy. I go with all my strategies, all my ideas. I learned that rejection is not a bad thing. It just means that there is a mismatch. Rejection, right? So, and rejection is one of those things that I really want to make a separate episode for. In fact, we've created a separate episode for rejection because I want you to understand what rejection means. And as a freelancer, it's not like you are working in a 9-to-5 job. You can be rejected and you will receive a lot of rejections. But rejections are just a stepping stone for you to move forward. It's just like something that needs to propel you to do better, to become better. You understand? You should not see it as something that you have to personalize. You start thinking about it. Oh my God, you don't need to hold on to jobs. That's the other thing. Like people hold on to this job. Oh, I'm waiting. You are now sitting there waiting for that job to get a feedback. Sometimes they say no. And if they say no, it does not mean that you are not a good person or you don't know what you are doing or maybe you are the worst applicants for that job. No. It just means that there is a mismatch. Maybe there is something that the client is looking for that you don't have. That's just what it means. I have learned that preparation for freelancing is a booster. Yes, you have to prepare for your freelancing career. Now, I am not saying you should go and spend fortune to prepare. Now, if you have a laptop, you have decent internet, maybe you also have electricity supply, right, where you are, you can start. But internet connectivity is very important. So once you start, you get your first job, maybe your second gig, you need to find a proper sitting space. All right, your background, the way you appear on an interview can tell a lot about you as a professional freelancer. So I have learned that I have to appear as somebody who is working, creating a separate space in my place where I sit. So when I'm talking to clients, when I'm interacting with clients or so, they know that okay, Jesse is here to work, right? So this is really important because it gives the vibe that you are a professional and you know what you're doing, right? It does not give the vibe of somebody whom I will just talk to now on the call, and once I drop the call, they are off. The last thing but not the least is interacting with clients. How do you interact with clients? I think I was talking about it in last point, which is turning on your camera, right? How do you interact with your clients? When you turn on your camera, how do you start an interview? What are the kind of things that you say, right? And after that interview, when the clients reach out to you that they want to hire you, what are the things? How to keep the clients going? How to keep the clients coming back to you? These are very, very important things that I learned. All right. in my early age, in my early stages of being a freelancer, but also they have helped me. And I learned these things from people that are actually successful on the platform, people like us. So that is why I would encourage you that you you actually subscribe to this channel, because I'll be teaching you some of these things, because you need to understand how to keep, because some people can actually win jobs but they don't know how to keep the clients. The client will just leave them and they will be surprised, they will be shocked. How did this happen? So guys, there you have it. My story is a very interesting one. I started from zero, just like any one of you out there. I never had any repetition on Upwork, but I went through. I made over $100,000 in less than 12 months, and I'm still having some strong clients that strongly believe in me. And I want to share this experience and knowledge with you. And not just me, I'll be bringing seasoned and professional freelancers on this podcast that will be sharing their stories so that you'll be able to learn from them. And apart from that, I will also be talking to highly placed people in our society, in our different countries, that are doing something exciting about the gig economy. Our population is young in Africa, and we want to make a change. And one of the ways we can create jobs and increase inclusivity is by talking about the gig economy, talking about freelancing, and encouraging people to go into this space. It is a space that is beneficial. If you put in the work, the hard work up front, you put in the work, as I have, you want to be a professional, you make sure you do what you have to do to get those jobs, I can bet you your life will turn around and you'll be surprised how quickly that will happen. So if you like this content, please share with your colleagues, share with your family, friends, so that they watch this video, because I want this video to meet a lot of people so that it keep going. And also smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so that all of us can learn together. And we want to create a community where you will feel comfortable to come to us, contact us directly, or leave us a comment, and then we will respond, because we really want you to be successful. Thank you for watching.